One of the reasons why many PC users opt for the desktop is because it gives flexibility to choose whatever component you want to, along with giving you the option to change whatever part you want to if you ever want to upgrade. Contrary to this, laptops generally don't allow changing crucial parts, which is why desktop computers are often preferred by gamers and enthusiasts for the long term. Yes, there are several benefits of laptop over desktop and vice versa, but that's just another discussion of its own. Now, making laptops typically requires the manufacturers to use somewhat different components compared to their desktop counterparts so that they can easily fit everything inside a thin body. This is why not only we have laptop exclusive graphics cards, memories and motherboards, but also processors that feature somewhat different specs to the desktop ones and are also more power efficient. But if you have never seen a combination of both platforms, then a company called E-Ring is making this possible with their new CPU and motherboard combo strategy, which has now successfully transitioned laptop exclusive Intel Raptor Lake CPUs on a desktop motherboard. Typically, the motherboard socket is an LJ1, which is why a laptop CPU can't be used on it. Therefore, the company started developing desktop motherboards but with BGA sockets that can now use laptop exclusive CPUs. E-Ring is a Chinese brand that made the first CPU transition this year by bringing laptop exclusive mid-range Alder Lake CPUs to desktop motherboards, that soon followed by the transition of a high-end Core i9-12900H a few months later. The company now quickly transitioned laptop exclusive Raptor Lake CPUs, starting with the Core i5-13420H, which features 8 cores and 12 threads, and the i7-13260H, which features 10 cores and 16 threads. Unlike the previous combos, these bring micro ATX form factor motherboards that come with dedicated memory slots that support DDR4 memories, PCI Express slots for graphics cards and other expansion cards, a few M.2 and SATA ports, and a few more traditional headers. These combos will make the CPUs permanently installed, which means that users won't be able to upgrade their CPUs, but changing any other part is totally possible. Both the combos come under the PCH B760M branding, which indicates that these motherboards are using the B760 chipset and look pretty much like regular desktop motherboards except for the socket. Thankfully, the company has already shared the benchmarks of both models, where they look pretty good against other mobile chips from the previous generation. Now, the interesting part here is their pricing, which is typically the most important aspect of any PC hardware. To our surprise, both the models are priced pretty well, with the i7 combo coming at just $266 and the i5 one for just $200. These models are expected to have better availability in China, but they will still be available worldwide through AliExpress. I believe that this is a small yet fantastic innovation for PC users who are on a budget, especially those who want great power efficiency, which is typically the winning area for laptop CPUs. And talking about transitions, Intel is not alone. AMD is also doing such transitions, but for its latest Radeon RX 7900 GPU. If you remember, a few days ago, AMD launched an OEM exclusive desktop GPU, the RX 7900 GRE. This GPU is the successor to the RX 6800 XT, but cannot be bought just as any other desktop GPU. Even though it did not impress anyone, one thing which was pretty interesting about this card was its GPU die. It uses the cut down Navi 31 die, which features dimensions that apparently make it possible to use it on a laptop. And to our surprise, this was indeed correct, because the prominent leaker Golden Pig just reported that the RX 7900 GRE will be crammed into a laptop. Not only that, but it is expected that it might feature more compute units than the desktop one, making it a pretty powerful GPU for gaming on a laptop. So even though AMD failed to impress with the 7900 GRE, it still has a chance to prove us wrong, but only pricing will decide its fate. Lastly, we got a big leak on the upcoming Intel Arrow Lake CPUs. From various leaks on the next-gen CPUs that include both Meteor and Arrow Lake, we know very little about the latter except for the core count. But in a recent leak by Golden Pig, the Arrow Lake CPUs are going to have a significant upgrade in the L2 cache. It is reported that the Arrow Lake CPUs are going to feature 3 MB of L2 cache per performance core, which is 50% more than the L2 cache present on the Raptor Lake. So for instance, the flagship Core i9-13900K comes with 16 MB of L2 cache on the performance cores. The flagship Arrow Lake CPU with 8 performance cores will come with 24 MB of L2 cache. This means the total L2 cache size is going to surpass 32 MB pretty easily. And if Intel decides to increase the L2 cache size for the efficient cores, we can see the total L2 cache going beyond 40 MB. This could result in some great improvements in performance, where a particular workload can fit within the larger L2 cache, and it will also result in better hit rates that will also reduce the need for the L3 cache. That said, we are still far from the official launch of Arrow Lake CPUs, but we are very close to the launch of Raptor Lake Refresh, which is supposedly coming in October. In this video, you can know more about how much performance uplift you can expect from Raptor Lake Refresh and if it will be any good over AMD's Ryzen 3D CPUs. Lastly, hit the like button if you found the video informative and subscribe for more videos like this. Make sure to turn on the notifications to never miss any future videos, and I will see you in the next one.